Take it away.
We're starting already?
Yeah, just because I can edit everything.
Okay.
So.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Shoe Review Friday. This is a very exciting week in the sport. Not only is today, well specifically today is actually Wednesday. We're
pre-recording this now because we're professionals.
And I'll be actually heading down to Atlanta on Friday to watch the U.S. Marathon trials for the 2020 Olympics. So we'll have some special content coming out this weekend regarding that. But like I said, it's a busy weekend this week for the sports. We've got today is the lottery day for the New York City Marathon. Saturday is the trials for the 2020 Olympics, as well as Monday is the first day of track and field for all the kids locally as well. What are we doing now?
I am just, so that way I'll know when the battery dies, if it does die. I did charge the batteries this time. Again, this is Gingerbread Man running. This is Luke. I'm Zack. We're excited to do this. We have microphones on our chest now where we feel real. I set up a table and some visual aids here. So we are going to be talking about the Hoka Carbon X today, since we have the big stories in the world of competitive running are these carbon fiber plates.
Yeah, so basically if you are looking to compete or have competed in the marathon or the half marathon over the last year, you probably heard the buzz about carbon fiber. Basically, what the shoe companies are doing and have been doing is adding a spike plate into a road shoe. So if you ran track in high school, you probably remember how the spikes had that real stiff, keep you up on your toes kind of feel. All that is going on right now is we're taking that technology from the track and we're sandwiching it between different types of foam, depending on the brand, in order to get that energy return into a shoe that you can use for the road. This is Hoka's version, technically one of three different versions. This is the Hoka Carbon X. I say one of three because there is a Evo carbon shoe as well as a Evo Rocket carbon shoe, as well as a hereto unreleased shoe that should be coming out this weekend that some of the Hoka athletes from Naz Elite and Jim Walmsley are going to be using at the trials. But we can talk more about that later. Right now, we're more focused on this shoe, as is because it is in our store right now. It's the Carbon X. It is I don't know, I guess I don't want to call it an everyday trainer because of how much it costs. It's a $180 shoe, much cheaper than some of the ones it's being compared to. However, it's a shoe that you could wear every day. It's a little bit more durable than some of its competitors. But I would probably classify this as kind of like a speed shoe, like a race shoe.
Speed workouts.
Yeah, it's not a shoe that you would want to do, just your junk miles in. Due to the cost and the fact that it's got that speed board in it. It's definitely a shoe that is designed for getting up on your toes and going. It's just something that I like in Hoka. It's part of their Fly line, which I like in Hoka. I've not had a lot of success with some of their Cliftons and some of their Bondi shoes. So if you're used to that kind of rocker bottom feel in a Hoka shoe, this could be a little bit different for you. It may not be what you're exactly searching for. However, I like that feeling of being able to get up on your toes and kind of engage your calf and kind of go. And these guys definitely have that. Very stiff, so it's not going to flex at all. That's where that carbon plate comes into play. As your heel hits, it kind of rolls you through, and then as you toe off, it kind of kicks you and pops you up forward onto your next stride.
Definitely like Mario jumping. That's what I always tell people who come in the shop. They go, "What's it like?" I was like, "If you ever want to know what Mario felt like, kind of what I imagine he had in his little plumber shoes."
Yeah, I mean, the best way I think you can really kind of visualize it is like a seesaw or like a catapult kind of mechanic where it kind of just pops your heel forward and gets you up onto the next stride.
I mean, they can see and we can zoom in and, I'm not moving this at all.
No.
I'm putting some pressure on it. Now, have you had a chance to run in this?
Not this one specifically. I've had some other carbon fiber plates on it as well as some Hoka other Flyline ones. It's one of those things where I'm kind of saving it for the big day itself.
Ooh.
I think I will be probably pulling these guys out for my next marathon in April,
Yeah.
but I haven't pulled the trigger yet, just because I don't know. I kind of want it to be special.
You did have a friend buy one of these.
Yes.
And what does he think? I'm sure he's probably giving you his opinion.
Yeah, it's a go. It's a pull the trigger on it. If you're looking for that extra kind of advantage, the biggest difference he said is just getting up on your toes. You don't have that kind of heel strike that you can sometimes get in those longer distance kind of speed workouts.
Yeah.
It kind of rolls in and then it just gets you onto that next step a little bit faster.
Okay.
And then you don't have that same kind of beat up feeling at the end of the day because there is still a lot of foam here. So you're not having as much impact on your legs, making you quite as worn out after some of the harder workouts.
And what do you think about this foam durability-wise? Since we see the people who come in the Bondi and they're like, you can tell it's compressing a lot, and there's not as much foam as the ones behind us.
Yeah, Hoka is not a brand I've ever considered as like a top durability brand, and that's okay. It's designed. It's a moon shoe. It's designed to kind of be a high cushion shoe. This is an exception to that. Again, we're not comparing this to an everyday trainer in the sense like the 880 or the Ghost or the Cumulus. We're comparing this to other shoes in this classification, and in that sense, it's still a higher durability shoe. The feedback has been don't expect more than like 250 to 300 miles out of this. But I'm going to be honest with you, I don't expect much more than that out of a regular Hoka shoe anyway.
Yeah, me either. I mean, they have a lot of give to them, and that's what makes them comfortable. I mean, but that's still for that average person, that's still probably a good amount of time. So obviously, big news with the carbon plates in the running world. The change to the rules with the stack height and the everything with that, with the coming out of the Alpha Fly.
Yeah, so the new rule is it has to be under 40 millimeters of stack height. This guy is well under that. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I have to guess it's probably closer to 30 to 32. And we can edit that in post, right, if I'm wrong?
Maybe that's it?
No,
that's not it.
Anyway, but yeah, the new standards for stack height have to be under 50 millimeters, and it can only have one plate in a singular plane so that you're not sandwiching plate in between plate to get that kind of compounded kind of spring effect out of the shoe. These guys qualify for everything in that sense. It is a little bit heavier than the Vaporfly, coming in at 8.7 ounces, but it should be pretty comparable to the Alpha Fly, the one you were referencing there. That one is a little bit more of a chonkier kind of option. Yeah. One thing I will say about this guy is sizing can be kind of hit or miss. Definitely tried on. About half the people have had to go down half a size, and the other half have stayed to their true size. So it really just depends where you are as far as are you a true size or are you kind of in between sizes. But I think that's true of all of Hoka's fly lines. The Kavu, the Mach, the Carbon X, I've had to kind of adjust the sizing on that for a couple different things. So kind of keep that in mind when you're trying things on there.
I definitely think this is a shoe that even just the idea of the carbon plate is something we're going to start to see a little bit more of out of other companies. I think other companies are going to adopt and adapt in their own ways, but
yeah, we're going to have this week alone. There's going to be the official launch of the Hyperion Pro or Hyperion Elite, which is Brooks's version, the one that Des Linden won the 2018 trials in. We have New Balance launching their TC Fuel Cell Pro. I'm butchering the names. I apologize. I'm kind of on the spot here. ASICS with Sarah Hall will be racing in the Meta Racer by ASICS. Saucony, Jared Ward, and Molly Huddle, they'll be running in the Endorphin Pro. So every brand has something kind of comparable there. So there's a lot coming out. Here in the store, we will be bringing in a couple different options in that carbon fiber plates. We don't want to overdo it because, again, this is not a shoe that kind of fits in your closet for the average person. It's something that is an investment price-wise. All of these shoes that we're talking about are close to $200 or over, and they're not an everyday kind of use shoe. But we will be bringing in a couple different models as they release. Hoka was just the first one on the board other than Nike as they released back in May, June last year. So we've had these guys in the store for a little bit now. Locally, we just brought them in here in December.
Yeah,
but
this shoe's been very popular. People who run, they want to try it on. They're like, okay, it's what I'm working towards. Get it, maybe 2 or 3 months before just to get it broken in, or maybe just kind of get a feel for it a month or two before the race.
Yeah, if you're looking for a time goal, this is kind of a good shoe, but if you're just looking to kind of finish a marathon or something like that,
A little much.
It's a little bit much of the pocketbook. Like I said, these guys are 180, and we brought them in because they were the cheapest of the ones in that classification. We will be bringing some other ones too that'll be a little bit higher, but we're trying to kind of keep the keep it in stock.
We're not everybody who comes in the store is going to be the next
Yeah.
big thing, but we want them to feel like the next big thing without spending like the next big thing. You know?
But yeah, like I said, this is a great, as far as a carbon fiber plate one goes, this is a great kind of approachable option, where some of the other ones out there are just a little bit kind of a moonshots, a little bit overkill.
This also doesn't look intimidating like some of the other shoes out there that have carbon fiber plates that we've seen pictures of online, or they're not as pointy. It looks like something you would just wear.
Yeah.
But little secret, it's got that carbon fiber plate right in there.
Yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy. Like I said, Hoka road shoes for me are hit or miss, depending on how they fit my arch, how they roll through, whether or not you can kind of engage that calf. These guys, again, granted, I haven't taken them for any kind of extended use, at least not yet. They've hit all the buttons I was looking for them to hit, and they seem to be a little bit more durable than some of the other competitor options. So that's why these guys get the thumbs up from me.
I would say, I'd give it a thumbs up. This is a great approach for every person who just wants to have beat their PRs, beat your friends' PRs, that kind of thing. So the second half, now that we've kind of reviewed the shoe and given it a thumbs up from both of us here at Gingerbread Man Running, the second part of this episode was kind of talking about the trials, and you're going down there.
Yes. That's all I have.
That's all you got. So Luke's lucky enough to get down to there for the trials. I'm going to send him with a camera and instructions on push this button, and then I'll do the editing later. So I just want to know, what are you excited to see down there?
So there's a lot going on. A lot of the brands are doing their early release for the shoes that are coming out. So Brooks will be releasing their Hyperion Hyperion Elite. Hyperion Elite, thank you. Hoka will be debuting their new shoe. There'll be a lot of cool kind of watch parties and kind of meet and greets with some people in the field. I've got myself signed up to go to a pep rally for Hoka on Friday, and then maybe do like a shakeout run with Brooks on Saturday. But these are all things that are open to the public, so if you are going to be going down to Atlanta, there's a marathon on Sunday and a half marathon, which is what myself and some of the local people that I run with here are going to be doing. But we wanted to kind of go and pick up our bibs and then kind of see what happens. The course should be pretty exciting. The weather looks like it'll be okay. The course has got some rolling hills, and it'll be kind of neat to see who comes out on top. We do have a little bit of a fantasy football type pool where we kind of drafted runners that we thought would be good, and then we're going to kind of compare to see whose team does better. We put $20 in per person, so a winner can get about $200 out of this.
Nice.
So that's kind of nice. Yeah.
And hopefully that winner is a nice enough person to buy rounds that night.
Yeah, right.
At least one.
Yeah.
Like, I took your money, but here's a beer.
Yeah. So it's been kind of crazy. This has been a very neat marathon build-up. The trials are always one of the unique things that a lot of people don't know this, but most other countries don't do a trials. You're kind of graded on your performance throughout the calendar year leading up to the Olympics, and they pick you based on, well, this person ran very well at the London Marathon, or this person won Tokyo. United States does theirs differently. We have a specific race where they go, and if you have a bad day on that race, you're out. If you have a good day on that race, you're in. So you can have these underdogs and these dark horses that kind of come in out of nowhere and do really, really well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
As a person who follows the Olympics mostly for curling and soccer,
Curling.
and hockey, I find it amazing that we have these trials for running, swimming, right?
Yeah.
Almost every event.
Yeah, I think that's the American spirit. Is like you're based on your performance and not anybody can get there.
Yeah.
And there's some great. We do it in track and field too, with the 100, the 800, the mile, well, the 1500. Yeah. But we do it in the track as well. And there's always that third place spot where somebody's expecting to do well, and then they just have their race plan goes to crap, and vice versa. You have that underdog kind of story that, you know, the American dream, where, you know, anybody on any given day can kind of come in and pop in.
It beats that whole idea like they do with the basketball team. They're like, okay, who are the 12 best players in the NBA right now? That are American? Here you go. LeBron James. Same thing with hockey and baseball.
I guess it would be kind of like if you went to like the all-star like slam dunk contest, and you took like the top 3 in the slam dunk contest, and that's kind of how we do our trials.
Yeah. I really think that's great. That does show the American spirit, and gives people something to cheer for, because those are, unfortunately with our sport, I mean, we know the names. You know the names even better than I do. But the people who are going to tune in who just watch the Olympics because it's the thing you do as an American, they learn the names, and they might get to see somebody who, small town, Greensburg, Pennsylvania, won the trials and made it to the Olympic roster. I think that's wonderful. As far as that, I'm excited to see the footage you get and kind of.
Yeah, we'll try and do like a Instagram live thing on Friday night with some of the other people that have gone down from Atlanta, and we'll try and give you our picks once we're kind of there. Hesitate to do that right now because so many people have been kind of dropping out. Noah Droddy, Amy Cragg, a lot of big names that were there in the build-up have been injured or got the flu, or Shalane Flanagan retired. So you've got a lot of turnover this year, so we should be kind of exciting to see how this kind of plays out. But we'll go through the full play-by-play as far as what we expect to see Friday night over a couple beers in the hotel room that we're at. So,
and that's the way you do it. You go with friends and have fun. And this isn't the only trials. There's
so there's one in Eugene for the track events. So the marathon's a road event. So you go out and for a track, you do something completely different. It's a big track meet held in Eugene, Oregon, mid-June. So it's,
I guess it wouldn't be too hot. It's Oregon.
It's hit or miss, but it's, again, that's track and field. But it's a full weekend of kind of events with that. So maybe if this goes well, I can scratch together a little bit more money and maybe go to that one too.
Maybe if we get enough subscribers on YouTube, we'll get to go. So I think that does do it for this episode. I really want to appreciate everybody who shared the video on Facebook and liked and subscribed. It really meant a lot to us, even with our terrible editing. I think we figured the sound out using these microphones. It's only going to get better from here. We appreciate the love and support friends, family, and customers have given us. We got a phone call in 40 minutes after the first video went live saying, hey, the video was great. Here's an option for these kind of like wireless mics I knew I had, but I didn't know how to. I didn't know we had batteries, and it was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. But he gave us some feedback, and he was very appreciative of the fact that we're doing this as a small company. 40 minutes after the thing went live, so it was great. And again, keep the comments and feedback coming in. I have been trying not to lean so far forward. We also got a table here, so we are listening to your tips. Obviously, we're just kind of winging it as we go through, but that's kind of how I have Photoshop, like I have Premiere Pro now to edit versus Video Maker because the thing put a watermark in the middle. And the batteries are charged. First things first, I have like 6 batteries charged just in case. But let us know what you think about if you're in the running world and you know kind of about the Alpha Fly, let us know what you think about that in the comments. Give us your feedback and opinions. Obviously, people are split. Let us know how you think the trials are going to go, if you're following those, and if you think Luke is going to win his fantasy draft or not. Put that in the bottom of the comments too. And
right now, I'm pretty happy with my girls' side. You had to pick 7 athletes, and it could be any amount of boys or girls. My girls' side has been pretty good. My guys' side, I need some magic to happen. So we'll see how that happens. But I'll fill you in more about that.
Next, after he gets back, we'll obviously fill you in. Thank you guys for tuning in, and catch you later.
Have a great day.
Bye.